Generational categories, by contrast, sort us into narrower groups defined by birth years rather than collective events. Linguists and cultural critics point out this generational language is largely a marketing invention. By segmenting people into birth year cohorts, advertisers and media outlets can target audiences more precisely. But this approach often overlooks the reality of cultural participation cutting across age lines. For example, the so-called millennium whoop in pop music was enjoyed by listeners of all ages, not just millennials. Generational labels can make trends feel exclusive even when they're widely shared. This tendency to divide culture into generational buckets fragments our sense of time. When people share cultural touchstones like a hit song, a popular TV show, a major world event, they develop stronger collective memories, decade-based identities fostered with these shared moments, creating a sense of unity that spans age groups. In the 1970s, for instance, people of all ages danced to disco and they wore polyester. The decade's trend belonged to everyone. Today, generational labels create parallel timelines where even people living through the same years may have entirely different reference points. The result is more fragmented timeline. Generational debates such as boomers versus zoomers reduce complex social dynamics to stereotypes and a fuel for sense of division. This can lead to alienation as individuals feel disconnected from the outside their aligned cohort. It also distorts cultural history by implying that only certain age groups shaped and enjoyed specific trends, when in reality these moments often cross generational boundaries. Advertisers have accelerated this shift by slicing audiences into generational segments, assuming uniform preference within each group. Yet real cultural life rarely fits these neat categories. For instance, someone born in 1985 might relate more to Gen X than millennial stereotypes, and the overlaps between age groups are often more significant than the differences. Decade-based identities capture these overlaps, providing a broader sense of belonging. Without decade markers, our brains lose some of the temporal reference points that help organise memory. Neuroscientists note that cultural milestones structure autobiographical memory, and when these markers fade into generational silos, time loses its clear chapters. The timeline becomes less about shared experience and more about isolating groups and moving in parallel. Still, the desire for shared cultural moments persists. Viral trends, whether a dance, a phrase, or a show, briefly recreate the unity that decades once provided, reminding us that collective timekeeping is still possible,